Good morning. My name is Lord Gawain Dabari, and I'll be your host for the Newcomers Only competition with the first Bardic War of the known world. For those who are just joining us or have no idea what this is about, the Newcomers Only event is an open style competition for the newer to the SCA. Newcomer is defined as anyone who considers themselves a newcomer and meets the following requirements. A person who has never won a Bardic or performing arts competition of any kind within the SCA. A person who has been in the SCA for less than 5 years, or who has attended, on average, 2 or less events per year during their time in the SCA. A person who is not a professional performing artist mundanely. This morning, we have an amazing lineup of new performers who are wanting to step up and show their skills and test their wares against others and join us in the performing arts side of the house and have a lot of fun while doing it. The competitions are going to be broadcast here right as I finish this up. First on the list is Batiana of the Kingdom of the West. And her song is, or piece is, I Have the Heart of a King. Kanza is on deck next.
Thank you, dear nobles. I am Bantiana Siobhan Tegan of Avacal. I am performing for the Western Alliance. I am performing I Have the Heart of a King, which is a speech given by Elizabeth I at Tilbury Fort in Essex in 1588. Sitting on my shoulder is Miss Sophie. Don't mind her. My loving people, we have been persuaded by some that are careful of our safety to take heed how we commit ourselves to armed multitudes for fear of treachery. But I assure you, I do not desire to live to distrust my faithful and loving people. Let tyrants fear. I have always so behaved myself that under God I have placed my chiefest strength and safeguard in the loyal hearts and goodwill of my subjects. And therefore I am come amongst you at this time, not as for my recreation or sport, but being resolved in the midst and the heat of the battle, to live or die amongst you all, to lay down for my God and for my kingdom and for my people, my honor and my blood, even the dust. I know I have but the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart of a king, and of King of England too. And think, foul scorn, that Parma or Spain or any prince of Europe should dare to invade the borders of my realms, to which neither any dishonor should grow by me. I myself will take up arms. I myself will be your general, judge, and rewarder of every one of your virtues in the field. I know already by your forwardness that you have deserved rewards and crowns, and we do assure you, on the word of a prince, they shall be duly paid you. In the mean, my lieutenant general shall be in my stead, than whom never prince commanded a more noble and worthy subject, not doubting, by your obedience to my general, by your concord in the field, and by your valor, we shall shortly have a famous victory over the enemies of my God, of my kingdom, and of my people.
That was awesome. Man, wow. And a big round of applause there for going first. I really appreciate that. Batiana, thank you so very much. Kanza, you're on next here with Adam there. Behind that, Kanza is from the Kingdom of the Middle and will be performing The Sparrow's Tale.
I coming through here?
Your screen is still black, sir.
That'd help. I'm Kanzal Khalil. This is the sparrow's tale. Some little birds told it to me. In a hot, dry place, there lived the sparrows who watched over the way. The way was used by men and beasts to get from one place to another, for few things that walked on legs wished to tarry there long. They would travel, the men and their camels, as the beasts did, moving in the morning and in the evening, sheltering against the heat of the day, huddling together around their fires against the chill of night. One such group was the men with their camels, accompanied by a tall man clad all in white with a sharp black beard. With him were 5 youths in his charge. They were traveling towards the place where the sun rises. As they went, the man in white would whistle or sing songs or tell stories to the men and the children and the camels and the little birds. The sparrows liked him. The sandstorm struck in the night. Howling winds sent scouring sands blasting through the camp, scattering the men and the camels. Amidst the chaos, the man in white shouted for his charges, but his voice was a whisper against the screeching fury of the gale. The sparrows watched, huddled in their little scrub trees. In the pre-dawn light, 6 shapes shook themselves free of sand. The man in white, now stained dark desert brown, and his 5 children. Looking around, he took sand, rubbed it between his hands, and faced the place where they had been traveling, the place where the sun rises. And he sang a morning song. The youths bowed their heads in kind, and then went about, scavenging what they could from the destroyed camp. The sparrows knew that it was a long way to any gathering of men, and so they decided to watch this strange little flock, to see what would happen to them. In the morning they traveled. The man did not lead the children or follow, but rather moved through them, singing as he did. When one would falter, he would be there at their side with a smile and words of encouragement, and the pace would be resumed. At midday, they stopped to take their rest from the heat. He chanted a little rhyming poem before they ate. The youth seemed to draw strength from it, trying to repeat it. Their food was meager, and they had little water. In the evening, it was much the same. They walked, he sang, he encouraged, he guided them. At night, they gathered what wood they could find and built a small fire. The man in dusty brown told stories around it, and the flames danced. So it went. But on the second day of this, the birds noticed that he was a bit stiff when he rose in the morning. On the third day, they saw him limp a little through the midday. By the 4th day, his magnificent beard had streaks of silver in it. And by the end of the 5th, the youths had to support him, though they would not allow a stop for rest. The morning of the 6th day, he could not rise from his mat to sing his morning song. So 2 of the youths together got up, rubbed sand in their hands, and faced the place they were going, the place where the sun rises. And they sang his morning song. He lifted his head from where he lay, tears in his eyes, but smiling, and joined them. Through the day, they took it in turns to support him as they walked. At the midday, the youths took turns chanting his little rhyming poem, laughing and playing with each other. In the evening, they took turns telling stories, and once more the flames of the fire danced. On the next day, the 7th, they encountered an oasis, a place with men and camels and water. and they washed and refreshed. And the man, once more in white, standing tall and proud, but still with some silver in his beard, went on with his charges towards the place where the sun rises. And that is where the sparrows left them. But I like to think that they made it to wherever they were going, together. Thank you.
That was awesome. Kanza, thank you so much. That again was the Sparrow's Tale. Andamar, hailing from the Kingdom of the West with Heaven's Heart, our heart's haven, is next. James of Sankar from Atlantia is on deck.
Good morning. From the Western Alliance, my name is Adamir Odavan, and from Artemisia, and I will be performing Heart's Haven. Oh, Harper, I spy how your feet shuffle so, how weary the miles you have trod. My hearth, it is bright, and so dark is the night, and your head is beginning to nod. A song for your supper, a tune for your drink, a story or jest for your bed. Just tell me a tale, you'll have meat and good ale, and a haven for your weary head. Come set down your burdens and sit beside me. Drink deep and eat hearty this night. Though coin you may lack, pull the rhyme from your pack, and a melody for my delight. A song for your supper, a tune for your drink, a story or jest for your bed. Just tell me a tale, you'll have meat and good ale, and a haven for your weary head. A seat always open, a cup always filled, a meal always ready to share. For no one shall be in the heart's company and be wanting for comfort or care. A song for your supper, a tune for your drink, a story or jest for your bed. Just tell me a tale, you'll have meat and good ale, and a haven for your weary head. And when your long journey has come to an end, and you reach the comforts of home, my kindness recall, light the fire in your hall, and welcome the weary who roam. And say a song for your supper, a tune for your drink, a story or jest for your bed. Just tell me a tale, you'll have meat and good ale, and a haven for your weary head. A song for your supper, a tune for your drink, a story or jest for your bed. Just tell me a tale, you'll have meat and good ale, and a haven for your weary head. Thank you.
What a beautiful song this morning. Thank you so very much. That was Heart's Haven by Adamir. James of Sankar, Atlantia, with Echo La Primavera is up. That's Sarah O'Reilly of Callantyre is on deck.
Ecco la primavera che il cor farà allegrare, tempe da innamorare e star con lita cera, Noi veggiam l'ariel tempo, che pur chiam allegria, in questo vago tempo, ogni cosa vaghezza, l'erba con gran freschezza e fior copro noi prati, e gli albor adornati sono in simili maniera. Ecco la primavera che il cor farà allegrare, tempe da innamorare e star con lita cera.
Wow. Wow, that was awesome, man. That totally took me by surprise. I didn't expect that. Thank you so much. Again, that was James from Atlantia with Eco La Primavera. Sarah O'Reilly of Palantir out of the Kingdom of the Middle is singing or performing What is the SCA? Drewston is on deck.
Hello, my name is Sarah O'Reilly. I'm from the Kingdom of Palantir in the Alliance of the Midrealm, and I'm going to be reading an original poem called What is the SCA? What is the SCA? That is what people say. When I mention what I'm joining, their curiosity is growing. How can I explain this group, this merry company, this troop of researchers who reenact medieval life, in fact? How can I explain what I have learned and seen with my own eye? Maybe the place I should start is with ideas at the heart of what SCA stands for. Maybe that's my open door for sharing understanding, and so into this small attempt I go. The first word is society, which is kind of like community, a group of people who are friends, fiercely loyal to the end. Some people do not follow this way that is so hallowed, instead choosing to be unkind, allowing pride to make them blind. But I strike the chords of kindness in this world of hate and violence to try to make society the best that it could be. Creative is what is next, and like a bird building a nest, the things we make can have beauty while also having utility. We dance, we sing, we learn, we share, we fight, we feast because we care about history and also, too, making friends who are good and true. The last is anachronism. What is that? It is a mouthful that trips up all who hear and say it, but means that we aren't in the time we're meant to be. While I believe that this time is what God knew would best be mine, I do wish for some of the past. Some clothes, some skills, and some repast, the beauty of the bygone days, and some of my ancestors' ways. Acting out the research that makes my heart go pitter-pat can be explained and amplified by these words I have inscribed, of what the SCA could be if we all joined in unity. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Sarah. Thank you so very much. That was outstanding. Again, that was Sarah O'Reilly of Palantir with What is the SCA? Sarah, catch up with me afterwards. I got a song I'll share with you that I think goes along with what you just shared with us. Drewston of Old Stone Bridges with Sweeney's Feathers, and he hails from Atlantia. Vonnie, you're on deck.
Good morning, my friends. I am Drewston of Old Stone Bridges from the Kingdom of the East. And my poem, Sweeney's Feathers, is inspired by the Irish tale, The Madness of Sweeney. A little bit of background. Sweeney was a king in Ulster who was cursed by Saint Ronan Fane for his blasphemy and for his violence. The curse was that at the sound of a bell, he would flee naked in his madness. He would wander the land without a home like a bird. He would perch in treetops, hunted until he met his death by spear. Sweeney lost his kingship, his clan, his wife, his life, but most importantly, himself. King Sweeney flies from broken branch to tree. His feathers fall behind him, soft and gray, and visions sunrise bright, they fade and flee. The cursed forgetting, memories drift away. His talons grasp at dreams in dimming day. A punishment from Ronan, holy saint. Now Sweeney cries laments beyond restraint. The clan now spies the king plucked bear. They hunt from nest to rest. A mercied end they seek, and madness comes. Man feathered elegant now scratches earth and shoves grubs in his beak. A treetops fall to muck, mighty to meek. The miracle of wrath, saint cursed his name. The wind steals feathers as he sings his shame. For pinioned wings can't stall a fall from grace. Can avian become redemption's son? Will Sweeney find again his rightful place? Where hollow bones will perch him, partisan, a cursed man to stay forever shunned? Sweet vengeance from the Lord has deemed it so. Now Sweeney's mind grows soft and wits grow slow. The king knows why memories fall like feathers, remembers wrath, spear-pierced Ronan's most dear, now soar from Erin's shores, set free from tethers. Mad Sweeney, how you're blessed to disappear. You catch the wind, find faith and persevere. Old life is lost. Redeem yourself by wing. From broken branch to tree flies Sweeney, king. Thank you very much. I love you all.
Drustin, thank you so very much for taking your time this morning and sharing a beautiful story. That was awesome. The visual was fun. I was playing along with you in my head as you spoke your words. Vani is now going to perform The Water is Wide, hailing from Atlantia. Bard Juana Abbey, you're on deck.
Greetings, gentles all. My name is Vani Kabedia, and I'm performing my own arrangement of The Water is Wide. There is a ship, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not if I sink or swim. I leaned my back against an oak, thinking it was a trusty tree. But first it bent, and then it broke, just as my love proved false to me. Oh, love is gentle, and love is kind, the sweetest flower when first it's new, But love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like the morning dew. The water is wide, I cannot get o'er, neither have I the wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, my love and I.
Wow. Wow. I was humming along right there with you. That was beautifully sung. Thank you so very much for your participation this morning. That was Vani with The Water is Wide, hailing from the Kingdom of the Middle. Bard Juan Abbey with some challenged entertainment. Oh, I like charged better. Maybe that'd be a thing. Rodrigo, you are on deck.
One should always be drunk, that's all that matters. So that you not feel time's horrible burdens that breaks your shoulders and bows you down. You must get drunk without ceasing, but what with? With wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you choose. But get drunk. And if it's sometime on the steps of a palace or in the green grass of a ditch or in the bleak solitude of your own room, you are awaking and drunkenness is already abated, ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock, although it rolls, although it soars, although it sings, although it speaks. Ask them what time it is, and the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock will reply, it is time to get drunk. So you not be the murdered slaves of time. Get drunk, and never pause for rest. With wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you choose. Hello, all my fellow bardic performers. 'Tis I, Bard Juanaby. Now, you may be tempted to pronounce that Bard Juan Abbey, but you would be incorrect, as you would be missing the ever important, the ever proud whoosh. So, 'tis I, Bard Juanaby, with my period challenged entertainment. I have one more short piece for you, though there is a bit of a parental warning. This is a little risque, and it is rated Oedipus Rex. From the Bible to the secular song, there's one theme we find right along. Of all ideals that they hail as good, the most sublime is motherhood. There was a man, though, who it seems once took this ideal to extremes. He loved his mother and she loved him, and yet their story is rather grim. There once lived a man named Oedipus Rex. You may have heard about his odd complex. Someday his name will appear in Freud's index, 'cause he loved his mother. His rivals used to say quite a bit that as a monarch he was most unfit, but still in all they had to admit he loved his mother. He loved his mother like no other. His daughter was his sister and his son was his brother. One thing on which you can depend is he sure knew who a boy's best friend is. When he found out what he had done, he ripped his eyes out one by one. A tragic end to a loyal son who loved his mother. So be sweet and kind to mother, now and then have a chat. fire candy or some flowers or a brand new hat. But maybe you had best just let it go at that, or you may find yourself with quite a complex, and you might end up like old Oedipus Rex. I would rather a complete Bardic wreck than end up like old Oedipus Rex. Thank you for listening. Thank you for entertaining each other. And thank you for being lovely, wonderful people. And should you ever see me running naked through the woods, I swear it's because of the bell. I swear.
That was awesome. Hey, Juan, before you split, is that a ukulele that you were playing?
This, yeah, I found out some things about this. I'm brand new to the SCA. I'll make this as quick as possible. My first SCA event was Pensick a few years ago, and I hit the ground running, performing as soon as I got there. And this is my new home. I must perform everywhere I can. Right before Known World Cooks and Bards, about 2 weeks before that, I saw this at a record or at a music store, and I was like, fate has spoken to me. Apparently, this is from 1960, and I only made a few of them. It's a ukulele, cleverly disguised as a lute. I call it my Luke.
I love it. I love it. I've seen some ukuleles for sale online. This is the first one I've seen played.
They're
Thank you
beautiful.
so much, man. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Great energy this morning. That was Bard Wanhabi with some period challenged entertainment hailing from the middle. Rodrigo, As I Am, with Baroness Sabit, I'm saying it bad again, Sabingen. She'll correct me and it'll sound a whole lot better here in a moment. Take it away, my man.
So I hope I do this song justice, because in a roundabout way, it's what led me to join the SCA. I suppose that I look different without the robes and crown. I come this day before you with no riches, no renown. For here I am no leader, I am just a humble man. And I only ask you take me as I am. I'm not looking for perfection, I'm not offering a saint. I'm not looking for a pretty bird to put in some restraint. The only thing I want is that you love me if you can. And I only ask you take me as I am. I offer you a look inside. I offer you that trust. I need your strength to help me fight the battles that I must. I need you to remind me of the light we bear within, that there's more to life than struggle, and the things we seek to win. Don't take me out of duty, and don't take me out of pride. Just take me if the man you see is one you'd stand beside. I'm offering an open heart. I'm asking for your hand, and I only ask you take me. You take me as I am. Thank you very much.
Rodrigo, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. This is the spirit. We are seeing the spirit of what the SCA's Bardic Tales and our fireside sing-alongs that have gone on since I started at the SCA back in 1994 have drawn us into being a part of. I am really proud of seeing all of you singing and performing out here this morning. Baroness Scythe, I think I've got it right this time, of the middle, Battle of Maldon. There is a video that will be played after this. It was sent in as a submission as it could not attend.
Hello, I am Baroness Scythe Ingendonkada of the Midrealm. And as he said, I am singing Battle of Maldon by Mistress Rosalind Jahan. Here must we hold, so hearken to my counsel. Felled is our Lord, slain by foemen on the field. Now we must honor the oaths we made in Mead Hall. Now must we shoulder the burden of his shield. Great were his gifts of gold and noble gemstones. High were the halls where the heroes boasted so. He was my lord, so loath am I to leave him. Vow to avenge him by vanquishing the foe. For our hands shall be the harder, and our will shall be the wiser, and our heart shall be bolder, though our strength must end. Come and follow me to glory, so that when they tell the story, we shall not be forgotten in the halls of men. I will not flee, but farther will I follow, boldly to battle with broadsword in my hand. More than my life was the love I bore for Brythnoth. Fierce will I fight now and so defend this land. Come I from kindred of honor and of courage, ne'er shall they say that I nothing was at war. Stand with me steadfast, staunch against the Vikings, wield ye your weapons like warriors of yore. For our hands shall be the harder, and our will shall be the wiser, and our heart shall be bolder, though our strength must end. Come and follow me to glory, so that when they tell the story, we shall not be forgotten in the halls of men. We stand undaunted, the last of the defenders, stout-hearted men who can strike a mighty blow. We will encourage each other in the war play. Let them advance now, for we shall lay them low. Death is our doom, but let us die with honor. All that lives after is what the bards do say. Fight to be worthy of fame in the future. Let them remember the deeds we do this day. For our hands shall be the harder, and our will shall be the wiser, and our heart shall be bolder, though our strength must end. Come and follow me to glory, so that when they tell the story, we shall not be forgotten in the halls of men. We shall not be forgotten in the halls of men.
Wow, I am just floored here. I know Roz, I know that song. That was absolutely beautiful. I just heard her sing it a few weeks ago, and wow, you brought, man, okay, and the rest of the performers here are apparently ready to go to war based off of those great, like you just, yep, that's called evoking of emotions right there, man. All right, Baroness Scythe, that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. On deck here is a video that was submitted instead of doing the performance. Kelwyn Owain of Atlantia with the Children of the Lear is going to be performing here shortly.
Greetings. My name is Kelwan Owain from the Kingdom of Trimaris in the East Atlantean Alliance. I am a newcomer telling a story in the category of newcomers. This will be the story of the children of Lear. Once upon a time, long ago, in Ireland, there was a mystical race known as the Tuatha De Danann. Amongst their tribe, they elected a man named Bo Derg to be their king. He was fair and he was just and well liked, though there was one of his subjects named Lear who did not approve. He thought that he could be a better ruler, a better king, so he opposed. But Bo Derg, being fair and just, he wanted to assuage his subject, so he offered his eldest daughter's hand in marriage to him. Her name was Eve. Lear accepted, and they fell madly in love. And they had 4 beautiful children. Their eldest daughter, Finwala, their son, A, and 2 twins, Fiacra and Khan. Though sadly, Eve died giving childbirth to the twins. So this broke Lear's heart. And at this point, Bo Derg had come to love Lear as his own son. So he wanted to mend his broken heart. He then offered his other daughter's hand in marriage to Lear. This daughter's name was Aoife, and she was just as beautiful as her sister, though her heart was far more wicked and jealous. She despised the children, and she thought of any way she could to try and be rid of them, so that she could have Lear all to herself, and he would be the focus of his attention. So one day, she told Lear that she would be taking the children to see their grandfather. Secretly, she put them in her chariot and she took them down to a lake near the castle, Lake Derival. The children had played there many times with their father. So they jumped out of the chariot and into the water and started splashing. While they were distracted, Aoife drew into her cloak and pulled out a druid's wand, and she touched it to the water. The children, they began to transform. Their necks elongated, their smiles turned into beaks, and feathers sprouted out of their back, and they were turned into swans. Finwala cried out, and she was horrified that she still had her human voice, and she pleaded with her stepmother, "Please change us back." But Aoife cackled. She said, "Even I cannot change you back. The magic is too strong." And she told them that they would be cursed, that they would be in these forms for 900 years, that they would have to spend 300 years at Lake Derival, and they would have to spend another 300 in the Straits of Moyle, and then 300 more at the island of Inishglora. And only then, when the sound of Christian bells rang in Ireland, would they be free from their curse. And the children wept. Aoife left, and she appeared at her father's castle. Bo Derg, when he saw his daughter there and did not have his grandchildren with him, became concerned and asked where they were. Aoife lied. She said that Lear had forbade her from bringing the children with her. He was suspicious. He was a wise king, so he sent word to Lear. And Lear, when receiving this word, became panicked and began searching for the children. He ran down to the lake and he called out their names. And there he heard his daughter Finwala call back to him. And he was relieved momentarily until he saw what came to the shore, and it was 4 swans. Finwala spoke to her father and told him what had happened, and he wept, and he cradled them by the water. When Bo Derg found out what had happened, he was enraged, he was incensed at what his daughter had done. So he turned his daughter into a demon of the night, and he banished her into the sky. Now Lear, he spent his time with the children by the water in relative happiness. They had many years together where they would sing and people would come by and listen to the children. But time came and they had to pass on to their next place, to the Straits of Moyle, and they left their father behind. Then they spent 300 years there, relatively alone. And after those 300 years, they went to the island of Inishglora. There they spent 300 more years alone. And after 900 years, they returned to their home, Lake Derival. There they saw a priest, and when they saw him, they heard Christian bells ringing. They started to transform back into children, and their feathers dropped off, and their beaks turned to smiles. and the priest blessed them. And it was there that they took their last breath, and they died, smiles on their face. That is the story of the children of Lear. Thank you.
That was cool. I have not heard that story before. It was really neat to see and hear that submission coming in from my former Kingdom of Trimaris, where I started playing with the SCA. I would really like to take a few minutes here and thank and encourage all the performers who showed up early this morning, all of our viewers who showed up early this morning as well, some much earlier than others, to come and share some share their support and cheering on of their representatives of their kingdoms, of these wonderful newcomers who have chosen to step over the line and try their hand at Bardic performance this morning. And I'll correct that. You did have a Bardic performance this morning, and every one of you did an amazing job. You're inspirational to myself, who has been playing for years. And I can tell you, as others who are watching this, you may have encouraged yet another person to step up somewhere else and do it themselves and be a part of our performing arts community here in ESCA. We're the heart of what goes on around the fires. We are the storytellers, we're the singers, we're the musicians who bring the SCA to life when the fighting is stopped, and we're standing around talking about our memories from today, the ones that have gone by, and the ones that we are planning to do tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and being a part of this amazing activity that was put together. Again, our performers today were Batiara from the Kingdom of the West with I Have the Heart of a King. Kanza from the Kingdom of the Middle, The Sparrow's Tale. Adamner from the West with Heart's Haven. James of Sankar from Atlantia with Echo la Primavera. Sarah O'Reilly of Palantir with from the middle with What is the SCA? Drustin of Old Stonebridges of Atlantia, Sweeney's Feathers was what was performed. Vani, East and Atlantia represent there. The Water is Wide, Bard Juan Abbey. From the middle, who brought us some very period challenged, and I would say that that was charged entertainment. Rodrigo Navarro out of Atlantia, who performed As I Am. Baroness Sive from the middle with The Battle of Maldon. Kellen with The Children of Lear from Atlantia. Thank you so very much. I would encourage you to reach out and continue to give support to these wonderful young bards in training, or budding bards, if you will, and continue to support them in their growth and their opportunities around our fires to keep telling our tales, to keep singing our songs.